All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful method for doing well in school, and it's all based on Salerio K's book, On Learning. And you know what all kicks off with this one super optimistic promise.
And that's it. That's the core message. It's not about being born a genius or just getting lucky. Success? It's achievable. It's a system, a method that really anyone can use.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, how do you go from just believing it's possible to actually making it happen? You know, in your classes, semester after semester.
Well, the book lays out this really clear framework. It's not about 100 different little tips and tricks. Nope, it's about 3 fundamental pillars that hold everything else up. So, let's break them down.
First up, Pillar 1, Mastering Your Learning. This is all about how you actually take in information, way before you even start worrying about exams. It's about being proactive, not reactive.
I absolutely love this quote because it totally reframes how you should think about this. Your studies aren't just something that happens to you. It's more like a strategic campaign. And the winner? Well, the winner is the one who prepared the best.
And that leads us to the book's #1 strategy, anticipation. It's a simple idea, but man, is it powerful. Instead of just walking into a lecture cold, you do the prep work beforehand. You get a head start, which makes it so much easier to actually get what's going on in class.
So how do you do it? It's a pretty simple 4-step process. You get the materials, you read them, you look up anything you don't get, and then you try out some exercises. The goal here is huge. By the time you actually walk into that lecture, you're not hearing this stuff for the first time. You are reinforcing what you already know. Game changer.
So all that prep work? It leads us straight into pillar #2, mastering your evaluations. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's all about how you perform when it counts, during tests, exams, you name it.
Now, the book makes a really important point here. There's a big difference between understanding something and just memorizing it. You need both. Think of it this way. Understanding gives you the flexibility to solve new problems, while memorization gives you the speed to do it quickly. You gotta have both to win.
And what about that horrible exam stress? You know the feeling. Well, the book says that stress isn't just random. It's a direct result of feeling unprepared. When you've actually put in the work and you have a solid plan, that fear starts to get replaced by confidence.
And that brings us to this classic quote from Edison. Acing an exam isn't some magical flash of genius. No way. It's about the hard work, the revision, the practice. It's that 99% perspiration that makes you feel ready for anything.
Which brings us to the foundation for everything. Pillar 3, mastering yourself. Because, let's be real, you can have the best learning strategies on the planet, but if you can't manage your own time, your energy, and your mindset, well, they're pretty much useless.
So how do you do that? It starts with one key question you've got to ask yourself, like all the time. Is this thing I'm doing right now urgent or is it important? Because they are not the same thing.
And the tool for this is the Eisenhower Matrix. And seriously, this thing is a lifesaver. See, most of us live our lives in that urgent column, just putting out fires all day. But real success, the kind we've been talking about, that happens in the top right box, the important but not urgent stuff. That's where you do your planning, your prep, your anticipation. So the big takeaway here is that you have to choose to shift your focus. You have to carve out time for what's actually important, like that proactive studying we talked about, before it becomes an urgent all-night crisis right before the final exam. But look, mastering yourself isn't just about calendars and to-do lists. It's also about your headspace, your mindset. And that all starts with knowing exactly what you're shooting for. Vague goals just lead to vague results.
And that is where the SMART framework is so useful. Instead of saying, I want to do better in this class, a SMART goal sounds like, I will get an 85% in this class by studying for 90 minutes every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll finish all the practice exams a week before the final. See the difference? One's a wish, the other is a plan.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. These pillars, they're amazing for school, right? But the book kind of pushes us to ask a bigger question. What is all this for? What's the point?
And this is where it gets really deep. The book draws this incredible distinction between succeeding in life and succeeding at your life. Succeeding in life is, checking the boxes society gives you, the money, the reputation. But succeeding at your life, that's about defining success for yourself. It's about fulfillment, purpose, and actual happiness. And that's really the final thought here.
All these methods, these pillars, they're just tools. Powerful tools, for sure, but still just tools to help you build something. So the real question the book leaves us with is, what are you going to build? What's your mission?